Hello,
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
good evening. So, do you have any doubt from last class to anyone of you?
No, sir.
I think we have done algebra and trigonometry.
Yes,
Today
sir.
we'll start calculus. So, what I'm defining you something, then I will define you why do we need calculus. Suppose if you have a line from this point to this point. So this will be your y-axis, this will be your x-axis. And it would have some coordinate, let's say x1, y1 and x2, y2. So if I will ask to find slope of this particular line with respect to x-axis. So you will define it, extend this particular line and draw a perpendicular from it. So this will be your x1 and this will be your x2. So the difference of these two terms would define you x2 minus x1. So for this particular triangle, it will be regarded as base. Similarly, from this point to this point will be y1, and from this point to this point will be y2. And if you take the difference of them, so it will be y2 minus y1 from this point to this point. So it will be taken as perpendicular for this particular triangle. Now, if you have to calculate slope or inclination of this particular line with respect to x-axis, just say for this particular theta. So how do you relate this theta with respect to base and perpendicular? We use tan theta. So if we take tan theta is equals to perpendicular by base, here we have perpendicular as y2 minus y1 and base as x2 minus x1. So using this particular formula, you can calculate slope or inclination of this particular line with respect to x-axis. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. But if there would be some curve like this, suppose if you have a curve like this, and you have to calculate slope at a given instant. So how would you calculate? We can't define any coordinate regarding this particular point. Let's say if you have supposed this point to be A and this point to be B. And if we draw a line joining between these 2 points from this point to this point, it will not define you the slope to this particular curve. It will define you some other line, or we call this particular line joining 2 points of a curve. We call it as chord. So chord will not define the slope of curve regarding any different point. So we have to somehow change this particular chord to form tangent to this particular curve so that it will give you inclination at that given instant of time. Okay. So how to change a curve chord into tangent? We have to use a term that is called calculus. So calculus mainly defines you to mathematics related to all different curves, whether you have to calculate rate of change, whether you have to calculate area regarding every different geometrical figure of different shapes. Okay. First of all, write it down. I'm defining you.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Shakir, done.
Yes, sir.
Sabita,
Done, sir.
okay. Safan, you may take screenshot.
1 second.
Done, sir.
Sir, what's our topic?
Done,
Done, sir,
Safan?
done.
Okay. So we have a curve extending from this point to this point. Let's say I have drawn a line joining from point A to point B. So this will be a point A and this will be a point B. This line touching at two different points to this particular curve. So we call it as chord. Now this will be a coordinate. Similarly, this will be a coordinate y-axis. So if I suppose take this particular coordinate as x and this coordinate as y, and this term from this point to this point I have taken delta x, and from this point to this point as delta y. So if I have to somehow bring this particular point very close to this particular point A, then this particular line will transform to some different shape. I'm defining it. Let's say if you change this particular width to be very small, like this, you may further change it like this, or like this. So on decreasing the value of x, value of y or delta y would also decrease. So initially we have b at this point. After some time on decreasing their value, it will move to this point. Further, it will move to this point. And on further, if b overlaps on a or tends to overlap on a, then this delta x would be very small, or we can say it will tends to 0. Then this chord will now become a tangent which touches this particular curve at single point. Is it clear to everyone? How I have
Yes.
transformed this chord into tangent?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So during this process, I have taken if delta x tends to 0, delta x is nothing but change in x coordinate from point A to point B. If you change this particular delta x tends to 0, then B will tends to overlap on A, then B will tends to A. Then chord AB will become tangent. and tangent touches the curve at single point, so it will define you slope of the curve at that given instant. So in this whole process, while I have changing the value of delta x tends to 0, I have done mathematics, which is called differentiation. So what I have done here, I'm defining it. Suppose if you have a function y is equals to x squared, and if you have taken x1 as 1, so value for y1 would be 1. If you take x2 to be 2, so value of y2 becomes 4. Now, if we take the difference of these two parts, let's say delta x, so it will be 2 minus 1, which will be equals to 1. Similarly, if we take delta y, it will be 3. So this particular change is quite significant in respect of x as well as in respect to y. But if you have to take difference of x and y, which is to be very small, such that b would overlap on this particular point A, then this process of mathematics is called differentiation. So if change in x is very small, or it would be infinite decimal change, we denote this particular delta by d. So initially it was delta x, we define it as dx. Now, if you take the ratio of these two terms, it would be delta y over delta x. But if the change would be very small as compared to this particular change, so now it will transform to dy over dx. This particular term is called differentiation. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how to convert this particular change to this part? So we have to use a term that is called limit. Limit x tends to 0. It means the change of x would be very small, that beyond which there would be no possible of change. It means b would exactly tends to overlap on this particular point A, then this chord will transform to tangent. Is it clear? Safan,
Yes, sir.
just write it down.
Sir, how y
Yes.
is equal to x square?
I have just taken any function, any equation to define the change.
Okay, okay. You just give an example, yes, yeah?
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
So what's here?
This
If change in x is very small or
infinitesimal change.
infinite?
Infinitesimal.
Done, sir.
Infinitesimal, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Infinite.
Done, sir.
Wait. Infinite change. Done, sir.
Safan, have you written?
Done, sir.
So I have just defined this is one way of going from point A to point B to form this particular chord into tangent. There is one another way to change this particular chord into tangent. I'm defining that. Suppose you had a curve like this. And initially, it was from this point to this point as chord. If I start shrinking these 2 points from both ends, so it will look like the same line, but start decreasing from both ends. Or it will tend to touch at this particular single point. Is it clear? So in this process, I have shrink this particular AB from both ends. Initially, it was at this point. In the later part, it will tend to at this point. In third step, these two coincide at this particular single point. Okay. So this is another way of shrinking that delta x tends to 0 from both ends. Now, what actually I'm doing in this whole process, I'm defining you some other way. Suppose if I have taken this particular line into infinitely small segment, like this, and the width of each segment becomes very small or infinitely small, so that if you draw a line or tangent joining in between, so it will form a tangent to that particular curve. So calculus mainly of two different types. First is differentiation, and second is integration. Differentiation means breaking of a curve into infinitely small segment so that this particular chord will tend to behave as tangent, and which has certain different applications, like it will define slope related to that particular curve. It will define rate of change of curve. It means how y is changing with respect to x. It will define rate of measure of any given point t, and so on. So in differentiation, it is nothing but breaking of a curve into infinite small part to define tangent, rate of change, and so on. Is it clear? What do you mean by differentiation actually?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have certain formula.
Sir, what is
calculate.
infinite signal?
Infinitesimal means very small change. I have break this particular line into very small fine part, that each fine part will define you just dx. Okay.
Oh, delta x, yeah.
Delta x, the change you have calculated, or it would have some significant value. But dx is the change which is very small, comparable to 0. Okay.
Okay.
So now we have certain formula in this particular differentiation. Suppose if you have y is equals to x raised to the power n. So dy over dx. So dy over dx is nothing but change of y with respect to change in x, such that the change in x is very small, which is comparable to 0. This particular term is called differentiation. So it would be equals to bring this exponential to its coefficient and reduce its exponent by 1. So this will be your first formula of differentiation. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you have y is equals to any constant, let's say y is equals to 5. So every constant number has a multiplicative factor as 1. So we can write this particular term as 5 into 1, or we may write this particular term as 5 into x raised to the power 0. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now use this particular formula in this part. So you can solve it like dy over dx is equals to, here 5 is the coefficient of this particular part. So we can take it outside. We have exponential as 0. So according to this rule, bring the exponential to the coefficient and reduce the exponent by 1. Now it will become 5 into 0 into this particular part. And if 0 is multiplied with any of the number, it will give you just 0. So we can say differentiation of any constant term would be 0. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, what is integration?
I will define you later. What do you mean by integration? I'm just defining you differentiation. Now there would be some. Okay, Sabita, just 1 minute. If you have y is equals to sine x, so dy dx would be equals to just cos x. If y is equals to cos x, so its differentiation would be equals to minus of sine x. Y is equals to log of x, so dy dx is equals to 1 upon x. And last, if y is equals to e raised to the power x, so its differentiation would be remains e to the power x. I will define you what do you mean by log and exponential function after this calculus part. Okay. Okay, just write it down, all of you. Sabita, from where you have disconnected from the initial part.
Yes, sir.
I have just defined what is the geographical meaning of this differentiation. In last part, I have defined you if you have to move from B to A to change this particular chord into tangent. I have just moved from B to A by only one side on going from this way to this way. But in this part, I have changed this particular chord by shrinking these 2 points from both ends. From this point to this point and from this point to this point. Similarly, from this point to this point and from this point to this point. So this is another way of shrinking this particular line to forming tangent. Now, there would be some other concept of this differentiation. If you break this particular curve into various infinitely small segments, such that the width between any two lines would be just a point. And if you draw a line touching that particular point, it will define you tangent to this particular given curve. So differentiation simply means differentiating or breaking of a curve into an infinitely small part, so that if you draw a line touching any two different lines, it will define you tangent to that given curve. Is it clear, Sabita?
Yes, sir.
Now we have certain formula regarding this differentiation. Okay. First of all, if y is equals to x to the power n, x is any variable term having raised exponential as constant part n. So its formula would be nx n minus 1. Similarly, if you have y is equals to any constant, constant value, constant number, so its differentiation would be 0. Similarly, we have for some trigonometric part, log and exponential function. Just write it down.
Done, sir.
So you have to remember just these 4 formula to define all of this differentiation. Okay. Aisha, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Shakir, any doubt?
Done, sir.
Safan,
Yes, sir.
do you have any doubt? Have you all done till this part?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now we have certain formula, or I'm giving you some problem regarding this. If y is equals to x cube, y is equals to 1 upon x square, y is equals to root x. Find dy dx in each. Try to solve, everyone. First of all, write each expression in terms of exponential and then use the formula as we have discussed in last part.
Sir, can you do for us first one, then we will do the others?
Yes, Shakir?
Can you do for us first one, then we will try
Okay,
the
okay.
other?
If you have y is equals to x cube, so we have n is equals to 3a. So according to the formula, dy dx would be equals to, bring this particular exponential to its coefficient and decrease its exponential by 1. So it will become 3x squared. Is it clear?
Sir, why they give you a value -1 for it? Exponential
It is
value.
just formula. If you have y is equals to x to the
Ah,
power
okay.
n, its differentiation would be nx to the power n minus 1. This is your formula.
Okay, sir.
Is it clear, Sabita?
Yes, sir.
Try to solve the rest of two. Samara, there is a little mistake. I'm defining that. Just solve the third part.
Sir, I have sent you the second one. Can you check?
Good. Shakir.
Correct?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mariam, please check the sign. Good, Ishita.
Sir, I have sent you the third one.
Good.
Correct, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you solve for this particular second part, in all of the expression, first of all, you have to move the term into numerator. So it will be 1 upon x squared. So if you move this term into numerator, its exponential will become -2. Now apply the formula. So it will be dy over dx is equals to n x to the power n minus 1. So it will become -2 x to the power -3. Now, since we have x to the power -3, so move this particular term to the denominator. So it will become -2 divided by x cubed would be the differentiation of this part. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In third question, you have to write this particular square root in terms of exponential. So it will be just half. Now apply the formula. So it will be dy over dx is equals to n x to the power n minus 1. So it will become half x half minus 1 would becomes minus half. Since we have negative exponential, so move this down to the denominator to make its exponential to be positive. Now we have exponential as half, so it can be written as square root. So it will be like this. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Safan, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Samaira,
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Sabita, done?
Done, sir.
Safan,
Done, sir.
now there is some other way to solve for different operations. Let's say first, if you have y is equals to sum of any two different function plus or minus or two different term. So on differentiating, each term will be differentiated individually. Differentiate the first part, keeping the other part to be as it is, plus minus, differentiate the other part. There is no impact of one on other in sum or difference. But if you have y is equals to fx multiplied by gx. So how to solve it? dy dx is equals to differentiate first part and multiplied by the second plus differentiate the second part multiplied by first. So this is called product rule. Is it clear to everyone?
Sir, what's dot? What's the mean by dot? Every time I'm asking this.
If y is equals to fx plus gx means two different functions and related by plus or minus sign. So on differentiating, each term will be differentiated individually. There is no impact of one on other. But if your two different functions are related by product or multiplication, if you have to take differentiation, so differentiate the first term and multiply it by second part plus differentiate the second part multiplied by first. Okay, this is the rule. I'm giving example how to operate this particular part.
So it means
Similarly, yeah,
dot means like multiplication, similar to multiplication.
I'm defining that. If you have y is equals to fx divided by gx. So here we have division. So dy dx would be equals to differentiate first part, multiply it by second with negative sign, differentiate second part, multiplied by first, and whole divided by square of denominator. So this is all about this division rule, or we can say it is quotient rule. I'm giving you one problem regarding this. Suppose for this part, if you have y is equals to x cube minus 1 upon x square plus 5. Here we have three different terms and they are related by plus sign or minus sign. So first of all, try to move each term in numerator and write each term in exponential form. So we can write it as x to the power 3 minus, if you move this particular term to the numerator, it will become x to the power minus 2 and plus 5, which is constant. Now, if you differentiate this whole part, first differentiate this part. So we have exponential as plus 3. So according to the rule, if x to the power n, if it is to be differentiated, bring this particular exponential to the coefficient 3x and decrease its exponential by 1. So it will be 3 minus 1. So this is the first part. Similarly, for the second part, we have exponential as minus 2. So it will be n x to the power n minus 1. And similarly for the third part, which is just a constant number, and differentiation of any constant would be nothing but 0. Is it clear, Safan? Samira, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Mariam?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you further simplify it, it will become 3x square minus and minus would become plus 2. Here we have negative exponential. Move this term to the denominator, so it will become plus 3. So this will be your final answer for this expression. First of all, write it down.
Done, sir.
Just 2 minutes.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
Shakir, done?
Sir,
So
just another 1 minute. Done, sir.
Suppose if you have y is equals to x cube times sine x. So in this expression, we have two different terms and they are related by nothing but product. So we have to use product rule. So if we have y is equals to fx multiplied by gx, so according to the rule of differentiation, we have to differentiate first and multiply it by second, plus differentiate second and multiply it by first. So according to this rule, if you apply for this part, this is your first function, that is fx. So in first part, you have to differentiate it, keeping the next part to be in multiplication of it, plus differentiate the second term and keep the first part in multiplication of it. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, we have formula how to solve this exponential part. We have x raised to the power q. So according to the rule, move this exponential to its coefficient and decrease its exponential by 1. So we have to differentiate only this part, and rest of the term which is outside, just take in multiplication. Plus differentiation of sine x is nothing but differentiation of sine x is equals to just cos x. So here it would be cos x and multiplied by x cube. Now simplify it. So it will becomes 3x squared times sine x plus x cube times cos x. This will be your final answer. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Safan? Safan? Any doubt? Shakir?
No, sir.
So,
No, sir.
Yes, Myra?
so we don't have to differentiate that x cube part.
We have to
Right.
differentiate each part individually. Suppose
So
I have
for the
differentiated.
last one, the 3x square dot sine x, in that x cube, do we have to differentiate it
part?
further? Yes, sir.
In this part, I have differentiated sine, keeping x cube to be outside of this particular bracket. So keep it as it is. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Just use this rule. Differentiate first part, keeping the second part to be as it is in multiplication of it. Then differentiate second part, keeping first part to be in multiplication of it. So it would be just fx. Try to solve these two questions. Good, Mariam. So Myra, just check your calculation. Mariam, there is a formula to simplify it. We have learned it in trigonometry part. Safan, have you done the first part?
No, sir.
Second one?
Okay.
Shakir, have you done the first part?
Which
Should I
one, sir?
solve? First one, this part.
Sir, I'm trying to solve it.
Ishita, have you solved?
Sir, I'm doing.
Mariam, check your calculation. Just see how to solve it. For the first part, y is equals to x to the power 3 by 2 minus 5 and x to the power 1 plus 4. So dy dx is equals to, for this particular first part. So far, if x raised to the power n, so the differentiation would be nx to the power n minus 1. Similarly, we have 3 by 2 as exponential for this part. So it will become n x to the power 3 by 2 minus 1. Is it clear?
Yes.
Now, for the next part, we have minus 5 as coefficient. So keep it outside. Next is x raised to the power 1. So according to the formula, it would be n x to the power n minus 1. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And there is
Yes.
last term, which is nothing but 4, which is just a constant part. And we know the differentiation of any constant term would be nothing but 0. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now just simplify it. So it will become 3 by 2, x to the power 3 by 2 minus 1. So it will be 1 by 2 minus 5. X to the power 1 minus 1 would become 0. And x to the power 0 would be nothing but 1. You may further solve it like 3 by 2 and x raised to the power half would be under root minus 5 will be your final answer. Is it clear, Safan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, for the second part, how we will start solving, we have y is equals to sine x multiplied by cos x. It means we have to use product rule. So according to the formula, dy dx is equals to, differentiate this first part, that is sine x, keeping the second part to be in multiplication of it. So it will be cos x plus differentiate the second part, keep the first part to be in multiplication of it. So we have to solve only the bracket one, only for this part. This is only in multiplication of it. So it will be differentiation of sine x is cos x and multiplied by cos x plus differentiation of cos is minus sine multiplied by sine x. So cos x into cos x becomes cos square x plus into minus becomes minus sine x into sine x becomes sine square of x. And in last class, I have defined you for this part. If you solve, it will give you just cos of 2x. Or you may leave this particular result till this part, or you may further solve it to this part. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Safan, is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Just write it down.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Done.
Safan, have you written?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm giving you if y is equals to try to solve. X to the power n is equals to n times of x to the power n minus 1. This is the formula of differentiating like these terms. Differentiation of log x is just 1 by x. Mariam, I think it would be root of x in the second part. Samaira, x and log of x. These two x won't be get multiplied. They should be written separately. Good, Samaira. Safan, have you done the first part?
Sir, I have seen the first one. Can you check?
Good, Shakir.
Thank you.
Ishita, just check your calculation. Good, Mariam.
Sir, now I will send you second one. Just a minute, okay? Don't write.
Good, Samaira.
So in first question, pi will be 0.
Yeah. Pi will be treated as constant part, so its differentiation will be 0. You may solve each part individually. Let's say we have x squared for first part, x to the power 1 by 2 in the second part, and pi in third part. So if you differentiate it, it would be n x to the power n minus 1, or it will become just 2x. For this part, if we solve, it will be n x to the power n minus 1. So it will become n x to the power minus half, or it will move to the denominator to become square root. So it will become n x to the power plus half, or you may write it as under root of x. Similarly, for third part, here we have pi, which is nothing but constant term. So its differentiation would be 0. Now arrange the coefficient. We have negative sign here. We have plus 2 here, and we have plus half here. This 2 and this 2 would cancel out. Similarly, this 2 and this 2 would cancel out. So dy dx would be equals to half into 2x plus 2 into 1 upon 2 root x minus 0. This 2 and this 2 would cancel out. This 2 and this 2 would cancel out. So it will be x plus 1 by root of x. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Similarly, if you solve for the second part, we have two different terms and they are in multiplication. So I have to use product rule. So dy dx is equals to differentiate first part multiplied by second term plus differentiate the second term multiplied by first part. So it will be differentiation of x squared means x raised to the power n. So it will be n x to the power n minus 1 and whole multiplied by log of x plus differentiation of log, which is nothing but 1 upon x and whole multiplied by x squared. So it will become 2x times log x plus 1 upon x and x squared would cancel out. So you're left with just x. So this would be your final answer, or you may take x to be as common from both these two parts. So it will be 2 log x plus 1. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Ishita, do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Just write it down. Stefan, any doubt?
No, sir. 1 second.
Safan, have you written?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, how to use question rule or division rule? I'm giving you one problem. Suppose if you have to calculate differentiation of tan x. We don't have direct formula to define this particular tan x, but we can break this particular term into sin x and cos x. So it will be sin x divided by cos x. Now these two terms are in division. So using the formula, we had y is equals to fx divided by gx. So on differentiating, it will become differentiation of first part multiplied by second term with negative sign, differentiation of second part multiplied by first and whole divided by square of denominator. So we have to use this rule in this formula. So it would be dy over dx is equals to differentiation of numerator means sin x multiplied by denominator means cos x minus differentiation of denominator multiplied by numerator and whole divided by square of denominator. So it would be cos x whole square. Just simplify this equation, try to solve. Differentiation of sin x will give you cos x and differentiation of cos x will give you minus of sin x. Just put these values in this expression and try to simplify. Mariam, your numerator further would be reduced to some finite number. Good, Shakir.
Thank you, sir.
Samira, have you solved? Good, Mariam. Good, Samira. Ishita, Safan, Safan, have you solved?
No, sir.
Just see here. dy dx of this sine x would be nothing but cos x. We can write Safan. So it should be cos x multiplied by cos x minus. We have cos x here and we have to differentiate it. So dy dx of cos x is nothing but minus sine. So it would be minus of sine and multiplied by sine whole divided by cos square x. Now this cos and this cos on multiplication will become cos square x, minus and minus becomes plus, sine into sine become sine square x, whole divided by cos square x. Is it clear, Ishita?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me the value of this numerator. Sine square x plus cos square x would be equals to
1.
good. Divide by 1 upon cos square. And as we know, 1 upon cos would be equals to sec. So you may further write it as sec square x. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Safan, any doubt?
No, sir.
So can we leave 1 by cos square as it is, or do we have to solve it further?
You may leave this particular answer till this part. Safan, are we done?
Yes, sir.
Now suppose if you have to calculate y is equals to sec x. We don't have direct formula of this differentiation. So break this particular term into a function which we have some formula. So we can break it as 1 by cos of x. So here we have 1 in numerator and cos x in denominator. So use the same formula, question 2, and try to find. Try to apply. Now put the values in these brackets. Good, Maria. Samira, check your calculation. Shakir, just check your calculation. Safan, have you solved? Ishita,
Solving some.
Good, Ishita. Shakir, just tell me what you'll put in this particular part.
1
Good. And in this part,
cos x,
good. Similarly for this part,
cos x into 1
and divide by
cos x square.
differentiation of 1. 1 is nothing but any constant term. So its differentiation would be
0.
good. And if 0 multiplied by any term cos x, the whole term would give you 0.
0.
Okay.
Yes.
Minus differentiation of cos x would be
Minus sin
minus
x
sin x multiplied by
into
1 would be remain same. Whole divided by
cos x.
cos square x. So this term on multiplication with 0 will give you 0. So what we left with? Minus minus plus
Plus sin x
sin
divided by
x.
cos x square.
We can write cos x into cos x. Here we have, suppose 1 multiplied by sin x. So we can write 1 upon cos x. It should be equals to sec x. And sine upon cos x would be called as tan x. Is it clear, Safan?
Yes, sir.
Till which part you have solved? This, or this? Have you put it all these values in their respective positions? Just see, differentiation is nothing but you have to apply the rule and you have to do according to the rule as given, like product rule and quotient rule. Shakir, have you written?
Yes, sir, done.
Safan, done?
Done, sir.
So you have just defined different types of differentiation: sum, difference, product, and question. I'm giving you one last result regarding this. If you have to solve y is equals to cosec x, try to differentiate
Sir, cosec is the reciprocal of cos, yeah?
no, sine.
Sine? Okay, okay.
Good, Mariam. Shakir, further simplify it.
What, sir?
Further simplify it.
Okay.
Ishta, just check the calculation. Good, Shakir.
Thank you, sir.
Good, Samaira. Okay. Now we have numerator as 1 and denominator as sin x, just as in the previous part. So put numerator in this part and denominator in this part. Similarly, denominator in this part and numerator in this, and whole divided by square of denominator. So this is the rule of division or quotient rule. Now we have to differentiate it. First part, which is just 1, a constant term. So its differentiation would be 0 multiplied by sin x minus differentiation of sin x would be nothing but minus of cos x multiplied by 1 whole divided by sine square x. 0 multiplied with this particular sin x will give you 0. Minus and minus becomes plus cos x divided by sine square x. So you may write it as sin x into sin x. You may write 1 over, whether I've done any wrong.
No, sir. Write cot x dot cosec x.
I've written wrong. It will be sin x.
Yes, minus
On
cot x.
differentiation, it will be plus cos x. So it will be
If it was cos x, then you can write minus sin x, but it is sin x.
sin x multiplied by cos x divided by sin x. 1 upon cos x will give you cosec x, and cos x over sin x will give you cot x. So this will be a final answer.
Sir, can we write minus cot x dot cosec x? Means we can replace the negative sign to negative cos x.
No, where from where you have where you left this particular negative sign?
This negative sign I left it for cosec x, for cos x, sorry, for cos x.
No. Just on differentiating this particular sin x, you will get cos x, and we have a negative sign here, so just put it here. So it will be there with negative sign.
Yes, so minus cos x divided by sin x, it will be minus cot x.
Minus cos x divided by sin x. It will be minus of cot x.
Yes, sir.
Whether you write this particular negative sign in front of it or in front of it, it will be remain same. Okay.
I have my answer is, sir, minus cot x dot cosec x.
Like this.
Yes.
Multiplication is a commutative law. Whether you multiply 5 into 4 or you multiply 4 into 5, in both terms you will get same result.
Same result,
Okay.
sir. So I was, this was I was asking you, sir. Means I can write in this way also, minus cot x dot cosec x, yeah?
Yeah, you may write this answer or this answer.
Okay.
Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now try to revise this whole concept and this different property regarding sum, difference, product, and division, and the problems which we have discussed today. In next class, I will define you integration and application of differentiation in whole physics. Why we have to learn this calculus, I will define you later. Is it clear, Stefan? Okay, then we'll meet in next class.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a nice day.